Hey guys, welcome to the Wakfusiasts channel. We are bringing you a guide today on the Shhhudoku boss, the end boss, the Hushquarters dungeon specifically. Um, and with me is my good friend Ingots.
Hello.
Yeah, so we are going to show you guys because this dungeon was very difficult for us, and we can both attest to that
Yep.
until we actually figured it out, and I think we've mastered it at this point.
Yeah, I think we'll do all right.
Yeah, pretty confident. So to get to this point, you had to do the Murmuring Whisper dungeon, the original one. I think it's called the Whisper Crisper.
Yep.
Is that right, Delvin? Yep. So Whisper Crisper, you had to do the rock, and then you had, or actually, the rock is the third one. You had to do the Crackapult range before the rock, and then the rock. So those three dungeons together, you get these haikus that you put together to form the key for this dungeon. And once you form the key to this dungeon, you're going to come through. And if you didn't notice on the last three dungeons, after you do it the first time, you can actually use your ability. You can use your horn abilities that you got at the end of the dungeon the first time to shortcut straight to the boss. So all of the three fights before this dungeon, you can skip straight to the boss after the first initial kill of the boss. This dungeon you can't, however. You have to go through all of the waves of enemies until you get to the boss.
Right. So on that note, after you've entered one of the other three dungeons, in the first room, you'll see a tile on the ground that resembles either the air, fire, water, or earth
Wisp.
wisp emotes, and you just want to stand on those tiles and play the corresponding emote, and it'll teleport you to the boss room.
Yep, pretty cool little trick there. All right, Delvin, are we ready to
Yeah,
kick
let's
this
do it.
boss off? Let's do it.
All right, you do it. So, from our experience, the first thing you want to do is spread out. Do not start next to him.
Right, and actually don't stand in any of the first three cells because he won't be able to hit you with melee on the first turn. Does a couple ranged attacks, actually only one in this case. All right, so we see these colored glyphs on the floor. So, Delvin, I think you can talk about this part. We
Yeah, so, uh, yeah, you just keep going. Because I need to explain if I can get the boss on my screen. Here we go. So, if you notice down here, this whispering aura. We're not quite sure how it reacts to us stepping on the glyphs as of yet, but if you see on one of our characters, for example, Bloodmark here, he has an unfinished whisper melody. So every single one of us should have this unfinished whispered melody. If we look at a few more, you can see that we all have this. From what we understand is this unfinished whispered melody is a, hold on, I have to,
It's a pretty much a special tech thing, and we'll explain how to get it. But let's start with what we're doing initially. So if you start with this boss, if all of the players end on any of these colors to where all of the players are on the same color, like we're gonna do with red, the red tiles, for example, it'll actually do an elemental debuff to the boss. So in our case, if we're on red, it's gonna do negative fire resistances for the boss on our very first turn, which is gonna help us do some damage on him. But getting back, yeah, to our unfinished melodies, I think what Delvin's trying to get to is it's a special event for this particular boss that you can do these specific moves that we're going to show you to get a special like power buff that you can do tons of damage, tons of critical hits, and Delvin, I'll give it back to you.
yeah, so um, the most important thing to note here is that if you spend a few turns without having stepped on one of these glyphs, the red, pink, green, or blue, the boss will actually teleport to that character and one hit him.
Yes, very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to. Okay, so we'll talk first just to clear this up. The sequence you need to do with up to 4 characters, because there's only 4 ending blue tiles, is you want to start on the red, and then once you get there, you're going to move to the pink, and then the green, and then the blue tile each successive turn. And once you do that, after the last turn, when you're on the blue, you're going to get a special buff.
Right, that's after you've been on blue for one turn, and at the end of that turn you'll get the buff. So you want to move away from the boss. Another thing to know is that if any of you are standing on green or blue glyphs next to the boss, and you try to hit the boss, it will reflect to any character in the blue or green glyph.
Yep, so what we're going to do here with 3 or 4 of our characters is we're going to try to, since we ended on red the last turn, we're going to try to end on pink this time. And you're going to see our stack of unfinished whispered melody is going to go up. It's going to go from 2, 3, 4, and then 5.
Yep, so if you saw before we only had one stack, I ended my turn on the red glyph, so now I have two, and I have this red debuff. If you notice at the start of my turn I took 300 damage. You just saw any take 300 damage. That's what the red glyph does on your next turn. The pink one will give you, I think it's negative 25 crit fail. The green one will give you negative 150 resistances. And the blue one will reduce your AP by 3.
Right. So as you can see, I ended my rogue on the pink after the red, and my Kra and his Enu there are going to have to move away from the boss, and that shouldn't be a problem. So a big thing for this dungeon, you're going to definitely want a healer. Um, you take a lot of damage, and if you ever screw up at any point, you kind of want an any to revive a player, because he can, if you, for example, mess up somehow and you're not staying on any of the glyphs, and he jumps out, that'll be a big hit to some teams that can't revive themselves.
Yeah, so if you notice here, this usually happens to my Osa. I can't actually reach the pink, so she's gonna not take part in the scenario that we have going on here.
Oh, so let's talk about what each one does. If you end on red, you take
I
three.
I did. I covered it.
Oh, okay, he covered it. Covered all of them.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, you can see our cool Okushu summons here. They do some cool stuff. They heal. They get in the way a lot,
Yeah, I don't think they
and
did anything that turn.
they do damage too. So they're really cool. So we're gonna try to evade the boss here to end on pink, especially because our Osa got messed up on order, but she can get back in the groove. Um, and it doesn't matter what sequence of rounds you're in or anything. You just really have to go from red, pink, green, blue, and then off anywhere, and you'll get this nice shiny buff that you're gonna see us get, and you'll do crazy amounts of damage. Why are you hitting our summon there?
Prospecting, buddy.
Oh, cool.
It's either you or the summon. This guy's really cheeky.
Taunting us already.
Mm-hmm. So if you notice, he has ridiculous resistances to everything. It seems to be a random event. I'm not quite sure what happens, what triggers it. Eventually he'll summon a set of whispered and cracklers. Kind
Yeah,
of
that's
waiting
it.
for it.
Yeah, that's a cool. There it is. Okay, we did not get lucky this time.
Yeah, it seems to be random what he'll summon, and this is probably the worst.
Yeah, if you get cracklers, because you want to kill everything he summons. Sometimes he'll just summon a couple whispers, and they're pretty easy to dispatch. These guys are a little more annoying.
Yep, so if you notice, I have the... Oh wow, the air debuff actually subtracts your max MP as well. So I've got 3 stacks of this unfinished whispered melody. When we get to that to 5, which will be after the green and blue, we'll then get our buff afterwards, and it's awesome.
Awesome it is.
We'll get increased AP, increased critical hits. Does it give MP?
I think it does, yes. We really need to take care of these cracklers.
Yeah, I think I will do something.
I hope your Okushu doesn't stay on that blue either. He probably will. That's alright. We actually only have 3 people on track for this first round.
Yeah,
That's fine. I think the Osa needs to finish on pink.
she does.
The way to keep track, if you are not sure, I mean, you should be ending on certain colors, but if you get pushed or something, get off track. If you have 2, that means you ended on red and you need to move to pink. If you have 3, vice versa.
Yeah, we'll settle with that. So actually, if we manage to get through this one, we'll definitely be champs in our own minds.
Oh yeah, because this will be harder than the ones we've defeated before. We've never had a victory with cracklers summoned.
Right, and conveniently, he stopped with me on green already, so. Summons don't seem to count towards the insta-kill on the glyphs, so you don't need to keep them on the glyphs. You need to get on green there, buddy.
Wow, my MP was taken away, and my craw has just gotten screwed up.
Alright, we're down to 2.
Down to 2. Things don't always go as planned.
I think next time I'll not summon the Okushu because their pillar got in the way.
Yeah, a little bit. But it's okay. Spices things up a bit. We are taking quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, do you want to cover some of the attacks that Master Shhhudoku does, as well as the health steal
Sure.
phase?
Yep, so he does these really strong melee attacks. If you surround him, he does these crazy AoE attacks. And other than that, he has this kind of mid-ranged attack that does decent damage too. But at a certain point, he gets a little low in health, and he will do a mass health steal from all the players and gain about 2,000 health back himself. So be prepared for that.
Right, we were at the very...
I finish on blue, right?
Yeah, you're fine. Finish on blue. We almost managed to take him down before he got to the health steal phase. But it is somewhat of a challenge, and that was with I think 4 of us that had the buff.
Yes, I believe you're correct. My Annie has not successfully finished on a glyph. That's not good.
That's not good.
And she's in horrible range because these cracklers keep taking my MP. We need to get better heals going. And the benefits of having a Sacrier.
Oh yeah.
The Enu's going to be on track, right?
Yeah, unless the sacrifice messes it up.
And we've had that happen before.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually going to happen. A little worried about that.
I'm just glad Delvin didn't get blocked.
When all else fails, just start over. Back on red.
Yep. You know, I guess we'll be putting this one out before the Xcarnus video. So we'll have an Xcarnus run through for you guys as well. It's fairly rough, but we managed to do it.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Bring that guys to you. That's not good. Does that mean my rogue just failed?
No.
He had to start on the turn, right?
Yep. Are you
Okay.
at 4? Are you at 5 right now?
I'm at 5. Right?
You're fine.
So my rogue, after I end my turn right now, um, is going to show the buff, and it's going to be pretty cool.
Try and get over to the Crackler. Just for the time being.
Sure, that's a good idea. We need to get this guy out of here anyway. Hopefully he doesn't summon more in the meantime.
Heal up the Rogue. Ouch.
That is never good.
I am curious. Was your any on? Well, no, she's not on anything. You have a stack of 3 on your any. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did notice that. That is weird. But now I fucked it up.
That's alright.
So I could have ended on green, and she could have been able to keep going. This is definitely an advanced level boss. You're not going to get anywhere unless you kind of know what you're doing. Which is why we're bringing you this guide. Hopefully help out some on that end.
Yeah, so let's take a quick
Don't
look
attempt this boss if you're not all level 110 plus as well.
Yeah, there's no way. Well, there could be. We'd love to see that.
Make a guide yourself. That'd be awesome.
Yep. Okay, hold on.
And you should be getting the buff as well. See how my rogue there is glowing with these musical notes? The Enu should be getting the same buff, and we're going to do some crazy damage to the boss. It's pretty much how you defeat this dungeon in a reasonable manner.
Yep. So, if we look at the buff, we have plus 6 AP, 50% crit hits, 250% damage, and 4 MP. And that's base across the board. I don't think there's any way to improve that awesomeness.
Awesome indeed. Starting my craw over, I'm moving on to pink next.
Yeah, you should experience maybe another group of summons as well as the health drain. We haven't taken them down quite far enough to avoid those.
Right. Time to unload. Also convinced, just to add another note, I don't think you can do the reflect. And did we talk about the reflect area being
Yeah.
on the green and blue glyphs?
Yep, but it
You
appears
won't take reflect.
right, with the buff, it doesn't appear to affect you at all. I am not sure if it's because you have the buff that it doesn't reflect, or that I have the buff and it doesn't attack me.
Enshrouded in mystery.
Yes. The driller didn't take any damage, so I'd imagine it is because you had the buff.
Sweet. So
And
another tactic to defeating this boss is if you have a highly highly same mono element group, let's say all of your guys are fire for some reason, you could be all ending on the fire glyphs every single time and just giving him negative fire resistances and crazy pounding him down with attacks. And that would probably give you the same result as what we're doing. But who has an all fire group or an all any element group?
Don't know.
Not a whole lot of people. If you
Uh,
have a very distributed element group, which actually you're not going to have a mono element group, because to get through all these cracklers before you get to this boss, you pretty much can't all be the same element, or you would be there for a very, very long time. Time to see the Enu do some destruction.
oh no.
If our Enu was, professional.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh no.
Wow.
Got distracted. It's alright, now they get to see more blundering. I need a heal on Delvin.
Yeah, you had like 0 HP, and I did heal, but yeah.
32% resist
Would
on the
like to
heal.
continue my craw, and I just screwed up my craw again.
Yeah, that happens.
Because my MP is getting drained somehow. That wasn't good for the boss.
Did it hit the boss?
Yes. Did I finish on red last time? I think I did.
You did. You want to sit right there if you want the buff.
Think I should go for the buff on Manny?
Yeah, why
Alright.
not? I wonder if it'll give you plus heals.
It could.
Probably not. It's not quite what I wanted to do.
And just for your guys' information, we are a level 116, 17 average group doing this. Not as easily as it should be. And I think they say on the outside it's average level 100.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've played Wakfu and you've gotten to this point, you know that their dungeon levels are not accurate.
Not at all. Sure, you can hop in here at level 100, but yeah, you just saw Reflect do some damage.
Yep.
Whoops.
I think it's 20% chance. 20% chance that an attack hitting the boss will reflect to anything in the blue and green
Mm-hmm.
tiles.
Yeah, that's what was throwing me off before. He reduced my range
You
at
could
some
turn
point.
dragon form after this guy dies.
Yep. Oh,
That's good.
no, it's not.
Isn't it a rare material? I'll just help you out here.
I don't have it yet. I wonder if anybody has it. No, it's just a basic
If I don't
crafting
have a
material.
number at all, I need to end on red.
Yeah. Yep,
Staying
good
alive,
point. If
staying
you
alive.
at some point have a debuff, but you still have one unfinished Whispered Melody, that means you need to restart on red. Fire.
That boss did a ridiculous amount of attacks.
Yep, almost everybody's dead.
But we will endure.
Mm-hmm.
Except the Annie needs to be on green. She can't make it there. You guys just might see one of us getting insta-killed. I hope not, but...
Who do you think you're Craw?
Annie. But she was
No,
on
she's
the turn
fine.
before, so I think she's fine.
Yeah. Love those crit fails.
Yeah, right. Are you lining up for your Sacrier to get the buff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The good thing the buff is good for is killing mobs really quickly if he summons them too. Reducing any damage helps. So my rogue's gonna finish on blue to finish the buff. And he's gonna desperately try to heal people so they don't die. And again, don't not end on a glyph for 2 turns in a row. You will probably get insta killed. He'll teleport straight to you, and he will destroy you in 1 hit. Sacrier getting the buff too. And the Osa looks like. Very cool. Critical hits maybe?
Yeah, if I had planned for that ahead of time.
And it's supposed to end on green? Is
And
he one
it
behind?
needs to end on blue.
That is problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful with those. Lucky.
I'm an Enitroph, my friend. That is not correct, but you know. Eka flips are lucky. I just am good with money. It was a precision. Wow. Preci
Precision?
Yeah, thank you. Think I need to sleep.
didn't do AoE. That was lucky.
Yes, he does
But
right
he
here.
just did his big heal there, where he saps health from everybody, and that was that.
Yep, back up to 4K.
Sacrier being a true tank. We're gonna wreak some havoc on this boss, possibly even killing him. In the next turn. Getting 3 characters buffed like this is a really big deal. It increases your damage probably threefold or more.
Come on now.
My Craw's gonna end on blue, and then he'll be buffed just in case. But I doubt we'll need it.
Why don't you go ahead and reposition your windy beacon to hit the boss?
If I could, I would.
Mm.
Can summon another one.
Come on, crit fail.
And we don't even need to worry about those because we're gonna kill him.
Yeah. 1886, good year.
Hell yeah. So as you can see, besides staying alive as your main priority throughout this fight, you want to stay on the. If you're trying to get the buff sequence, you're going to want to go from red to pink to green to blue after every turn. That way you can unload tons of damage like that. He's almost dead. My little Annie could finish him, but yeah, she'll finish him.
And we get the challenge. Oh, he missed. Oh.
Wow. Let's let the Sacrier finish him with his massive attacks. Kaboom.
Oh no!
No!
Oh no!
You guys didn't see us just fail range challenge that we totally forgot about.
Oh, that is some garbage drops too.
Yeah, we got a hushed cloak. That's about it.
Yeah, we're
But
we're
we got
complaining about
tokens.
getting a hushed cloak.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this guide. Um, and yeah, good luck on the hushed quarters.
Real quick, let's uh let's do this little emote thing for
Oh,
everybody.
right. So if you were finishing this for the first time and you want to finish the quest, you actually need to pull 4 characters on each of these glyphs you see.
Yep, so here we have earth, fire, water, and air.
So you'll want to line up 4 characters and then do synchronize each of these emotes on each respective tile at the same time. So let's go ahead. Who's on? That's earth for me and air. You ready?
Mm.
Let's do it.
Uh, let's try that again. There
He
we
meant
go.
to do that. You'll set off this nice organ and get some good XP on this quest, among other things.
Mhm.
I think a murderer weapon, really cool.
Oh yeah.
Is that it for this guide, Delvin?
I think that's it, man.
Alrighty, hope you guys enjoyed. Archer
Thanks for
and
watching.
Delvin out.